The magician.
And I'm Zandas Okeke Otiba. Good morning.
Yes, Steve Ozochi is our guest. He is the New Telegraph Southeast Bureau Chief. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so many screaming headlines begging for our attention this morning. And we would perhaps go straight to some national stories.
Okay.
Except we have any...
Some local tabloids.
Yeah. All right. So let's just go straight to Daily Post. This one says insecurity in Southeast, tension, fear as security operatives, IPOB, others trade blames, and well, we already know what the police said about who is responsible for the carnage that was carried out here in Imo State and the response from IPOB. But then again, the insecurity is permeating every aspect, or should I say area, of the Southeast. In Abia, security concerns made the governor to declare curfew in some parts of the state from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. no movement. In Emoghene, we're learning that the governor is resorting to engaging vigilantes to assist the police there. Here in Imo State, the governor is blaming some politicians for being responsible for the... So, Ozochi, please. If you go to Anambra State, the situation is the same there. What is going on?
That's the question. What is going on? I think that's a question everybody in Nigeria, and particularly in the Southeast, should be asking. What is really going on? What is going on? Because we can't take this, we can't assume these things are happening offhandedly or accidentally or coincidentally. There is a pattern to this. There's an emerging pattern to this, and we have to sit up and face it. These facts are before us. We have to sit up and take notice of this. We can't play the ostrich forever. We have to address these issues. If we need to call meeting, we'll call meeting. We need to get stakeholders together, we'll get stakeholders.
You know, the Southeast is the only region where, maybe not the only.
One of the regions that is enjoying relative peace.
Until now.
If you check the American travel advisory, they will tell you the Southeast is relatively peaceful. But you also be careful pockets of kidnapping incidents here and there, but it's relatively peaceful compared to northern Nigeria. And so it would be unfortunate if we allow this region to be plunged into this massive chaos. And if it is not, if we don't rein it in on time, we may lose it entirely.
We've seen northern governors meet, periodically to re-strategize on security concerns. We've seen the Southwest governors do something like that. We've not seen much of South and Southeast governors come together, brainstorm, and find a lasting solution to all of this.
I think the Southeast governors meet, but maybe I think there ought to have been an urgent emergency meeting following this upsurge. There ought to have been an urgent, unless they are telling us there's nothing to discuss. Unless they are telling us there's nothing. And what is also we have to also be careful about is hasty conclusions. Police said is IPOB. They have their own finding, they have their investigation. The governor said it's politically motivated. And these things we don't...
And IPOB also denied.
They are not involved. At this point, for instance, let's not make any conclusion without empirical facts. Police, if they have their reasons, let them work with it. If the governor, I know the governor has a lot of sources of information, but in this case, if you begin to say, because our mindset already know what it means to be something to be politically motivated. Once you say politically motivated, is an open-ended statement. People assume you're trivializing this issue. If you say politically motivated, that it is politically motivated at this time, with this tension, you have to name the politician.
Yes, and probably.
If you say terror is being masterminded by politically motivated entities, name the entities so that we get them at once, so these things will end. You know them, name them, let's get them at once. This thing has to end.
All right, yesterday the National Peace Committee, headed by former heads of state Abdusalami Abubakar, met in Abuja over the lapse in security in the country, and they made some emphatic statements. Over 6 million illegal weapons are in circulation in the country. 80,000 deaths recorded, 3 million displaced. Urges confidence, consensus building, less close ranks, work for humanity, and all of that. I mean, is this group or their suggestion powerful enough to assuage the entirety of the country? Because it's like the federal government is losing ground seriously.
Honestly, this group, what I'll ask them, did they emerge from the moon?
But they've been there.
Did this start today? During, I think when Jonathan was in government, there was a project for light arms in circulation, how to mop up light arms. We've always known this. They're not telling us something we don't know. We've always known that there is arms in circulation. We've always known this. And when you open the border, say visa on arrival, what were you expecting? When our borders are porous, people can pay and come in and go out. What were you expecting?
I don't think we have up to 500,000 soldiers. If you put all our security personnel, that if it's up to 2 million.
We don't have
so if you're
much.
saying 6 million guns in the hands of people that are not supposed to be holding it, that's an army.
It's an army here and there. So see what, and you know this, and you're playing politics with insecurity. They tell people were shouting for all the while. Our communities are being attacked by herdsmen or militia group, whatever they are. You do nothing. You will be dead, they will be sacked. Strangers will occupy communities. The indigenous of the community will be taken to IDP camp. You do nothing. It happens here, happened there. Danjuma shouted, other leaders are shouting. Nothing is done. And what you are giving room to is self-help. Self-help, when there is this amount of gun in circulation, it will be catastrophic.
Well, maybe not exactly true that they're not doing anything. At least we have a new.
What I'm saying is comparatively, it's not that they're not doing it, but when people are complaining,
I'm
saying we have a new Inspector General of Police.
There may be something done.
There's something.
We're still nothing.
He's coming with.
Are you just trying to crack this morning?
No, if you go to the plateau,
we have new service chiefs.
Well, I know now. Go to the plateau, Paul. There are communities, people that have been living in IDP camps for a long time. Their communities, some say that their communities have even been renamed. Strangers live there.
Wow.
What do you expect them to do? And they see these things migrating, and some people say we have to help ourselves. And this is what most people are doing. If you look, take a case study now, forget this thing, ESN announced their own. Every region go under, fine, every region is building their own security, their own unconventional security. Everybody is protecting himself, and protecting yourself means arms. These people, everybody, if we don't stop this, if we don't control this, very soon every neighborhood will have a militia to protect the neighborhood, because we are heading to anarchy. This is the road to anarchy, and once we lose it, it is everyone for himself. You here, you will need arms to before you do program on radio. You will need armed men around, and it will not be police, it will not be soldier. Everybody will go around to self-help. So whenever there is glaring, consistent spate of injustice, and people are crying and you refuse to hear.
Yeah, but Steve, now let's look at it from this prison. In the northeast, we knew it was Boko Haram. Northwest, bandits, and all of that. Bandit, thieves, robbers, and all of that. But here, it's more faceless, unknown gunmen. Even though, yes, the former IG, Adamu, said it was ESN and IPOB, which IPOB refuted almost immediately. But the governor said unknown gunmen initially and hoodlums. But as yesterday, he said political actors are behind it to this credit APC government in Imo State. Be it as it may, who should the government dialogue with when these people are unknown?
That's a good question, but then whose job is this? Whose job is it to unmask this unknown government? Is it my job? Is it your job?
No.
There are people who has annual budgetary provisions to do this job.
The DSS
DSS is there. The military is there. The police is their job to unmask this, and issues of security are not given. Is not something we should be playing guessing game. Police say this, and for governor to say what he said, the governor have sources of information. I'll give him credit to that. The governor has a lot of sources, a lot of reports, security reports that come to him. The IGP of police also does. So, but for them to be giving us conflicting information is a cause for concern. It means that we're not even on the road to the solution.
Right.
It means we're not even on the road to. So where we are now, we must get security stakeholders to the table. We must do more than we are doing. What we call policing, we have to upgrade. Policing is not done. Modern day policing is not done with gun, especially when these educated people are now going into crime. Policing is done 90% of software than hardware.
Let's look at the man who is supposed to carry out the effective policing that you are trying to describe. Okay. Osman Akali Baba, who is now the Inspector General of Police. A lot of controversy about his emergence, especially when you start hearing what, let me quote what the Human Rights
Writers Association of Nigeria.
Yes. If you allow me, I'll get his quotes. But before I get that one, someone like Michael Zekome is already saying that it is unconstitutional for the president to single-handedly pick the Inspector General of Police. It says it's supposed to be a consideration from the suggestions from the Police Council, and the Police Council is headed by the president. You have members of the council that's the 36 states governors making members of the council, including the Inspector General of Police, who is also a member of the Police Council. They make suggestions, and then the president pick out of the suggestions that or the suggested officers have, But the way it played out, according to Zekome, the president is not in the country. Decide who will replace Adamu, and from Philas, even the vice president was not aware. A lot of governors perhaps were not privileged to who will succeed, the outcome, and now we have a new Inspector General of Police. I can't find the statement from Huriwa, but Huriwa was simply saying that a Muslim from the north is replacing another Muslim from the north as the Inspector General of Police at a time when Nigeria is asking for cohesion, for inclusion, and that the body language of Mr. President is that he's adamant at continuing with the method he had been deploying, which has not worked and has gotten us here this far. And they even categorically said he's trying to Islamize Nigeria. So if we don't have confidence in the man who is in charge of policing, how much can we achieve when it comes to police in Nigeria?
The police council you mentioned about has been in limbo for as long as I can remember. It's the legal thing to do. But even our governors jettisons their role, jettisons their power to choose, to determine who becomes the IGP of police. It's a council thing. It's not a unilateral thing.
Backed by law. If you check the Police Act of 2020.
But if you listen to the Minister of Police Affairs, he said Adamu tenure expired on the 1st of February, and he was given an extension, and before that, immediately the extension was given that the council himself and started shopping. So it is possible that they did their, I'm not holding brief for them, but it's possible, because that was what he said when the new IGP was announced at the State House.
Let me tell you something. Even the IGP Adam, who was removed, the former IGP who was removed while he was on duty, had a legitimacy issue. His stay beyond his tenure was largely illegal. It was actually illegal. It was constitutionally illegal. Forget all the rhetorics they brought to it. It was illegal. And what I believe was that they just kept him there while they sought for who to replace him that would suit their usual bill. And that's one of my position. That's actually my position in this. Forget about the issue of Islamization, but the issue is that there is an arrogant culture of impunity. There is a persistent, brazen culture of nepotism. They've made nepotism a blueprint of government, and they are doing it openly. They don't care. This country has never been this way. And you can't do this and tell people, you emasculate regions from the center. This is the root of the problem we have today. The problem we have today started from this. When you begin to tell people you're not equal stakeholders in this country, when you begin to share our commonwealth for a particular people leaving out others, in appointments you brazenly appoint only northerners to all the key positions in this country at the expense of others, while all of them generate the resources. See our economy. Our economy is always surviving depression every time, while Nigerians are doing wonders in the global stage in the economic world. 8 Nigerians are working for bidding presently, but these people, if they were here, they will be backbenchers. So you deliberately lead us to the path of perdition, and you think things are going to be like this. Wherever you perpetuate injustice, wherever you perpetuate nepotism, wherever you dare the people, I will drill you and nothing will happen, you are next door to anarchy.
What do you thought there? Let's take some commercials. There's so much to chew on, but of course we're looking forward to your comments and your position on these matters. Stay tuned.
107.3 Darling FM, the People's Radio.
Oh my gonna for you. Hello?
Casey baby, how far now? Sure you go free this Sunday. I won't spoil person pikin.
Hey, which Sunday?
This one now.
I know day.
Sunday at time.
Every Sunday, I no go free.
Wetin happen?
You mean say you don't know? New season of Nigerian Idol don't land.
Yes, Nigerian Idol don't land. Better singing competition with talent wey sabi and plenty drama from the judges. Una go fit watch weekly shows from March 28th and every Sunday for Africa Magic Channel 2 by 7 p.m. sharp. So run, recharge your GoTV subscription on top my GoTV app or USSD *288# to enjoy yourself. Na Techno Mobile and Biggie Drinks bring on this season of Nigerian Idol. GoTV, love it.
NDDC. The Niger Delta Development Commission is making giant strides in the health sector. Under the current interim management leadership, the Commission is supporting federal government's COVID-19 vaccination project by donating to the Niger Delta State a poker working cold room, medical solar direct drive refrigerators, and medical incinerators. In addition to this, it is also supplying hepatitis B and typhoid vaccines to complement the state's immunization program.
Currently, there is cholera vaccination going on in impacted communities within Rivers, Bayelsa, and Delta states.
Thank you, President Muhammadu Buhari and Minister for Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio.
NDDC, determined to make a difference.
Where the city unlocked the secrets of Forex trading 2021. Forex Investors Academy, in partnership with Hot Forex Nigeria, presents a 3 days live practical training on how to win in the Forex market. Are you a new or existing trader still struggling in making consistent profits in the business? Why not avail yourself of the opportunity? Come and have a full in-depth understanding of the financial market and learn all you need to know to trade. Seminar date, Wednesday 7th to Friday 9th April 2021. Venue, Assumpta Pastoral Center. Time 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. For more inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0708-974-8575. Again, 0708-974-8575. Forex Investors Academy, in partnership with Hot Forex Nigeria, we unlock the secrets of Forex trading.
Since I begin to use Biggie Bet, I just dey
cash out anyhow.
You mean
They there now. See them they offer bigger odds, 350% accumulator bonus, got one bonus, and you even fit cash out anytime, whether inside shop or online. Then they get better virtual games and jackpot. See them they even pay instantly. Oh boy, choose bigger rewards. So visit www.biggybet.com to go claim your 120% welcome bonus now.
Piggy-bet, bigger reward, bigger life.
The BBC News World Service app makes listening to your favorite programs on your phone even easier. And for times when you can't use Wi-Fi or data to listen, just hit the call to listen button in the middle of the screen.
This is the BBC World Service.
Call to listen is only available in selected territories. For dial-up news services, standard geographic mobile charges will apply. Please check with your provider for exact cost before calling. Download the BBC News World Service app from your usual store.
Easy. This always is my life, right and center. Now waiting be the secret.
Hey, my sister, have you never hear of Obas Global Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited?
No.
Obas Global a cooperative wey don stand up gidigba for Bayelsa come land down with Ore with correct package. Any money wey you save with Obas Global will give you 35% monthly and your capital will still be intact till the day when you want collect am. Even sef, Obas Global dey help people pay school fees, give you loan to take start business, and also 1 month certified forex training. The head office dey for Bayelsa for opposite Timicon filling station near NIT Road, Etegwe, Yengwa. For Owerri, dem dey for Immaculate Plaza, last floor, opposite UBA, Wedra Road, Owerri. Oya, quick, call them for 0807-882-0488 or 0901-028-5285. Make you follow the enjoy. Their email na obasglobalmultipurposecorporate@gmail.com. Secure your future now with Obas Global.
This is an infomercial.
The church prays, theme, divine peace and security. Calvary greetings in the most excellent name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The Christian Association of Nigeria Imo State Chapter, on behalf of the clergy, the entire body of Christ, and the good people of Imo State, declares 3 days of solemn fasting and prayer to entreat God's mercy and solicit his intervention in our state over rift, lawlessness, and insecurity. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. This solemn exercise holds on Wednesday 7th to Friday 9th April 2021. All participants are to pray and intercede as guided by the Holy Spirit, then gather to close the prayer each of the days according to the direction of their respective denomination. To this end, all church leaders, archbishops, bishops, apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, presbyters, archdeacons, canons, reverend fathers, sisters, etc. are enjoined to harness God's flock under their custody to execute the expedient clarion call to rattle heaven and secure palpable evidence and empirical answers for the restoration of peace, security, and normalcy in our dear state. The leadership of the church and the leadership of CAN will join together to formally round off the prayer on Friday 9th April 2021 at the Christian Center, CAN Secretariat, Owerri by 10 a.m. After which will come the CAN Emergency Executive Council meeting billed for the same day. God bless you as you take your share of this prayer burden. Signed, Sonny Oduemene, Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, Imo State Chapter.
107.3 Darling FM, the People's Radio.
You're still tuned to 107.3 Darling FM. Steve Ozoichi of New Telegraph newspaper is our guest this morning. And interestingly, we're supposed to be going through a number of headlines.
No, but we just have to focus on this.
On insecurity this morning.
Like for me, I don't know. You made mention of the fact that making it political, that the attack was politically motivated, is trivializing it. In as much as you said the governor has quite a number of sources of information. But is it that the governor doesn't understand that making such a statement will trivialize such issues without arrest? Because if you know those perpetrating it or those behind it, we should expect arrest.
We're looking at a terror action. However you look at it, the president called it a terror attack. And if you know the people, like you suggest, because before you call something politically motivated, you must know the entities that politically motivated it. because it will be possibly throwing the security agency off the scent they are pursuing. If you say it's political, so let's no one go and start thinking he's wasting his time since this is politically motivated. So if it's politically motivated, and you just say that, make that open-ended statement, you're telling the perpetrators to take off, that we are coming. The politicians that did it, you're telling them, take off, we are coming. If it is politically motivated, you clamp down on the politicians that did it. We don't need rhetorics. This is, the size of the crime that was committed, the size of the attack, the size of the humiliation. The police institution was humiliated. They should even be apologizing to Imo people. And this kind of thing happen, I will just say it's political. Name the politician, put him in custody, and let's ask questions. Let's ask questions.
Okay, so let's look at the possible consequences of having inmates freed and allowed to walk around in Owerri and different parts of Imo State. Over 1,800 of them. We had a few numbers.
85
have returned, which means over 1,000 inmates, hardened criminals, kidnappers, you name all the possible crime that may have been committed that led to the arrest in the first place. Now in different parts of Imo State. What are we to expect? Vanguard newspaper said they conducted an investigation and heard that some of the inmates are already hiding in places like brothels, in motor parks, in those places that don't sleep at night in Owerri, to mingle with the crowd. Some are taking up menial jobs, others are already taking to pickpocketing and stuff to raise money and stuff. We also heard of one who went to his village in Ikeduru to threaten the person that testified against him
and got instant justice,
and then the youth mobilized and killed him instantly, burning him to death. What are we to expect now from this?
It's not a good picture. It's not a good picture. But be that as it may, we understand that about 85 has already turned themselves back in. They are already back. But it's also good to inform that out of the 85 or out of the people that have already come in, none of them is a hardened criminal. None of them is in the condemned category. The hardened criminal who are the real threat and those who are on the death row, they are not likely to come back. And they are
but the governor said some of them were already calling and through their lawyers to find out, negotiate that they are not going to be retried or giving further sentences, which he almost laughed at when he was saying that yesterday.
Yeah, okay. I also heard that they are looking at giving pardon.
Amnesty?
Yes.
Yes, we have that, but then you have to come back first before they give you the pardon.
That's right.
But from what we have, the facts we have on ground, these ones, people could call in, okay, but the ones that have actually come in, the facts we have on ground, the hardened guys ain't back yet. And like what we are going to expect is that, we had problem of kidnapping. And the police were actually doing a lot. I'll give that to them. There was actually a diligent, dedicated network of policemen who were working on kidnapping issue because it was a major concern, and they were doing a lot. And they have a lot of those guys bagged in there, awaiting trials. Some their cases were already far gone, and these guys are hardened. These guys are hardened. These are the same guys, when they appear, people are afraid to come and testify against them. Most of them, like some policemen were complaining, they take them, they risk their life, catch them, put them in detention, they take them to court, nobody will come and testify. One thing leads to other, they find their way back in the society. And these guys are laboring, taking risks, and those are the guys back on the city of Owerri. Now that our forest will be populated again, because that's the notorious place where they hang out. That place will be populated again. Remember that it was in this prison that Vampire escaped. Yes. And some of his men were also arrested. They may also be part of the people that had escaped. So we are looking at a very gory picture. There are fallouts to this incident, serious fallouts, and we need to hit the ground running in active reaction. We don't have to just talk. We need to do things now. The police need to
So someone was talking about the morale of the policeman. You imagine, like you said, you risk your life to catch a hardened criminal, only for you to be told that that criminal has escaped. and you are expected to go back and
to risk your life again, not just go back.
That's the job. That's the job. That's the job.
Probably while you were risking your life at first, you lost some of your colleagues. Then finally you got the person. Now that same process will be repeated again. That's what it is.
You know, we blame a lot of things on police. I do also. There are a lot of them that are really a problem to the society. But honestly, there are some I have encountered, I know, that are dedicated and passionate in this work. Crime fighting. It is their joy. One of them told me, it's my calling to fight crime. It is my calling to, one policeman, it is my calling to fight crime. And he does this with his life. So this kind of people, why do you place them? And most times, when the governor was talking, if you listen to the governor's address or read his speech, when he was after that on the spot assessment with the IGP, the governor was worried. He said, "How could someone?" He came short of telling them, "You guys failed us."
Yes.
How could someone who is armed run away from somebody from another armed assailant? You're armed. You're trained. But there are issues the governor don't know, and you can't blame him.
Yeah, well, some of our deals, just like Paul said,
motivation,
morale.
What is the guarantee
that they say earns 45,000 monthly?
No. Leave the money.
It's part of it.
There should be some kind of loyalty, not them being loyal to you alone, you being loyal to them. What is the guarantee that if they are killed on duty, their families in the barrack will not be ejected in the next 6 months? Do they have that kind of guarantee?
No.
Most times when government say, "I fund you, I give you money," the money may not get down to them. It hangs in the air on top of the high-profile ones. What may get down to them is the vehicles. I'll tell you a story. One of my friends or sources who was kidnapped some time ago, when he was released, he told me he gave money, this kind of money to police. I said, "Why would he be giving them money again?" He said, "You won't understand." He said he overheard them after rescuing him. He overheard them discussing of how to get money to fuel the vehicle. To fuel the vehicle. There was no provision made to fuel the vehicle. It pained him. He gave them money beyond that. So you see, you put them to task, you don't fund the task. They take this, and this is another kind of thing they will tell you. They will tell me. They won't come to the studio to say it. Yeah. But that's why you see some of them, sometimes they harass innocent people, harass them. And this thing is a cycle. It's a cycle. So if we need to do anything, we need to reform the police, starting from the top down. It's not just the man on the police on the checkpoint.
Have you even heard of cases where you need to pay huge sums of money for you to be posted to juicy parts of the states or the country?
It's a problem.
So we understand these intricacies. My concern and worry is the people who would have to endure the backlash of this prison break.
And there will be.
And yeah, of course there will be.
There will be.
All right. Let's take your calls now. Join the conversation. Call 0815-050-1073. What options should we be looking at? Should we be applying the Dave Umahi's option, who says yes, he was going to flood the state with vigilantes, get at least 1,000
man
vigilantes from every local government. Should we continue to rely on the police ability to protect us?
Are we going back to Bakassi boys?
Exactly. So
because after a while they become lords to themselves and they start intimidating the people they are supposed to protect.
Something drastic needs to be done. That's what our guest is saying.
Something needs to be done.
What are you saying? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paul Zandas and my brother Steve Roswish.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Uncle Stevenson. I come from Emoghene. Let me quickly appreciate our guest who is honest with the situation on ground. And let me also quickly get angry at my governor for ever reporting that if his political calling enemies, friendly opposition, as the people in charge of the situation he wrongly found himself. If you want to solve a problem, you don't even let people know you know what is on ground. You bend down to see about it. And the more secretive you are about it, the more better information you get. Now, if there are politicians in opposition who wanted to help in this situation, they will sit back and watch because they have been accused. So that is the wrong step. So But the situation on ground, how do we solve it? Steve has pointed out to you the condition of the police, the challenges they go through. A task is given and no support is, put to for them to achieve it. This is where Nigeria is. It's all over the place. ASU is quarreling, no funding, even when funded, things are not working. We need to get back to reasoning. If this country needs to be restructured for people who want to be patriotic, who are passionate about serving this country to serve us, we get it back. Until then, I'm afraid, except a new story comes up. God bless you.
Okay, our first caller is afraid. In all of the police stations that we attacked, prisoners were let loose. Obo police station, prisoners were let loose. Abombise, Ihito Boma, Isialambano, Ehimembano, including the state headquarters, prisoners were let loose.
Then the correctional facilities itself.
Yeah. So they are here with us.
Living reality.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my name is brother Emoghene Zandas. Good morning, my Oga.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. My name is Comrade Padek Chidozenwotu, and I'm calling from my hometown, Emoghene, the most peaceful community in Imo State. But honestly speaking, since the incident took place in Imo State, I have been in a very big shock, because I can't imagine how unknown government can enter into a state and attack the police reporters and even go to the government house, and also went to the prisons of facilities, burn it and reduce the inmates. It's quite unimaginable. That means that Nigeria doesn't have any security. So I want to urge the state governor to please be in charge, and everybody, both the government functionaries, both citizens, we should be very, very careful with what he says. If anyone is saying that these people are IPOP members or they are members of the ESL, you must at least let the police advise so that you can explain better. So I don't want anybody to be accused wrongly. Because some people are saying that the governor is saying that those people who sponsor this thing are politicians. So if the governor has more information about that, he should please let us know, because these people that did this thing, let the law enforcement agencies ensure that they are brought to book.
Thank you, Mfadek. All right, it's been more than 48 hours and no arrests made or announced so far. Too early to ask why? Or
I think it's too early. The police first have to put their house in order. They first need to put their houses in order. I know there have been some efforts from the police high command. I understand a lot of deployments have been made to Imo. I have the AIG Mopo deployed from Mopo 8 Jos, from Mopo 12 Mina, Mopo 13 Makodi, Mopo 15, Mopo 12 Abuja, 21 Abuja, Mopo. A lot of units have donated men for Imo. But that's not the issue. The issue is the strategy. What the IGP, they want the outgone IG said, change strategy. Change strategy. So if you're coming to start doing the old rehash, the thing you've been doing, we may get this result.
So who is to change the strategy?
The police.
I thought the IGP is supposed to head the strategy changing.
The existing IGP may have discussed with the incoming IGP on the new strategy. So, but the thing we are saying that you guys ought to change the strategy. And like I said, modern policing is not carry gun they run around. It is ICT driven. It needs more of software than military hardware than hardware. The hardware is just for finishing, but to track, to find, to analyze, you need analysts. You need more intel. If you're not intelligent, you can't handle intelligence.
We're hearing
So we need to upgrade.
On our Facebook here, Okeke Kechuku Augusta says insecurity in Nigeria be like bicycle pedal. They finish. Mochechi Dedeji says good morning all the guys in the studios. The president has fueled unrest across the country through his patronage appointment. Northern Nigeria under Buhari became a more backward, impoverished and less secure region. The president lacks not only credibility but also the charisma required to unite the country. Okoro Don Chuks Izundu says the government of Hope Uzodinma doesn't want to take responsibility of what is going on in the state. Must we play politics with everything? Salaries politics, road politics, security politics, employment, health politics. Nigerian leaders love to see the poor masses in tears. I'll take one more here. Ezenwa Daniel says even my dog is not safe in Nigeria. If you wake up here, try checking yourself in the mirror to see if you still have your life. They can do politics with your sleep in Nigeria.
There's another thing. There's another thing that also concern. Our response to this kind of thing also tells us where we are going.
Nigerians are no longer shockable.
Yes, Nigerians are no longer shocked. You can't shock Nigeria.
Shocks them.
You can't shock Nigeria. So they have resigned to fate. Some anyway. But what I'm talking about in this is the security response, for instance. Like that Monday we came out till today, you see barricades. They barricaded from government college.
Yes.
There's a barricade there from table. What for? What for? The people you're punishing are the ordinary people. In fact, on Monday, during the Security Council meeting, a senior military man impressed us. One of my colleagues reported he was very impressed when he came through that government house roundabout. He saw the military, but he told them, "What is this for? Remove it. The people you're going are no longer there. They are gone.
Right.
What is this thing for? Remove it. They removed it. That's why you noticed there was a barricade in that government college room where the that center was open.
Then the
Tetlo Junction, but that center was open. People were driving in from where driving to that place because that man asked them to remove it. There's no purpose. What's this drama for? The prison gate is open.
Right.
The police cells are open. So who are you guarding? What are you blockading? On that Monday, they came for that security meeting. So we need to also feel for the people. The governor can't think of everything. Governor has aides. He has aides. His advisors, his security aides, his the people in charge of transport. They can go and we need to start interrogating the status quo. Like these people are so see the hardship. See what people are going through just to navigate this road. What is this thing for now? What is it for? Remove the
show of force. They call it show of force.
There is no force in that. Show of force is military. There is no force in that. So it was unnecessary.
Let me take some calls. There's no force in the show. Hello, good morning.
And Ochiba, I greet you. I greet you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moko. I come from a background, Haji.
All right.
Look, shut from now to tomorrow. Go in, go out. What is happening with you? Where do we start? Where do we start?
Your network, I think, yes, got in the way. All right, we're still taking calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Chief Jude
Good morning, Paul, and good morning, our good guests in the studio. My name is Jude Ubanda, and I usually call for me for first.
Good morning.
Well, according to Chino Achebe, his book, Arrow of God, I quote, unless the wind blows, we do not see the foul smoke, unquote. Indeed, the wind has blown, and we have seen the foul smoke, especially as it concerns our security, not being able to contain the criminal activities in our states. And again, our leadership, not being able to provide the security agents with sophisticated arms and ammunition that will match those of the firepower of the criminals in the country. And that is exactly what we are experiencing. I can't imagine a situation where, bandits and criminally minded elements will come into the state, break the doors of the correctional center, release inmates, go to our police headquarters of all. Succeeded in burning most of the vehicles and even sending most of the policemen running, which is a case of maybe criminals defeating the security agents, which is rather unfortunate. I think if you ask me, instead of our governor maybe investigating very, very well to actually find out the immediate and remote cause of what exactly happened, for him to turn around and begin to accuse maybe enemies or opposition of government is rather unfortunate. think it's a negative matter as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Issue now.
Thank you.
Get into the nitty-gritty of what happened.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. All right, we'll take one more call, maybe two, before we accommodate some commercials. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, precious morning to you, Zandas Okeke.
Okay, go straight to the point.
Precious morning to you, Comrade Sifu.
Good morning.
You really represent the concerned citizens of the government. Yes, I want to say this morning, without fear of favor, that as long as the government continues to play politics, all that is happening, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I am not the prophet of doom, but I am being realistic. Because up until now, the government is still playing politics. They are still advising what is happening. The other thing that is looming is the self-help the people are resorting to, they are still taking it for granted, for crying out loud. Otherwise, tell me the reason why the governor will tell you that it was the especially the tractors that are behind the attacks. At this point in time, without mentioning them, without telling us these are the people. And it goes to show you that we are just talking and talking, and these people are just adamant, they don't want to listen. And at the same point, the president is still appointing, going ahead with the politic appointment. And you're telling us that this is not just the beginning. I want to tell all of us to just continue to get ready, because this was the beginning. The people are completely fed up. They have lost confidence in their decision. This is just the truth. It is very clear. Unfortunately, those who are supposed to say it, the leadership has refused to say it. But the truth remains that this fire on the mountain they have refused to put out might, at the end of the day, consume all of us. The river will overflow. We might not have anywhere to run to when it happens. I pray God will be also. Thank you very much.
All right, let's take another commercial break. When we return, the People's Voice continues here on 107.3 Darling FM. Stay tuned.
Darling FM, the People's Radio.
Make your life better with BBC News Pidgin. To get better for this world, you suppose know wetin dey. Make better tori ginger you from your domot to the whole world. Because when you see every for the world, anything dey possible. Make your life better. Search for BBC News Pidgin.
Not a new level. Let's open your ticket from rescue to yesterday's gone today. Keep your lucky day for rescue to you are rolling to we are gonna make it bad. Rescue to go check the stars to keep your lucky day.
Playground for kings.
Expressions without words won't have it any other way. Moments will feel joy. Be lost in the moment of freedom. You will find that's what's celebrating. Bring your moment to life. Find the satisfaction in the nourishing trend sparkling. Making big differences in the nourishing trend sparkling.
Enjoy in red grape, white grape, peach variants. The Letter Sparkling Fruit Drink. Celebrate every moment. Another premium product from Intercontinental Distillers Limited.
107.3 Darling FM, the People's Radio.
Hello, we're back on air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Your name or where you calling from?
Ambrose is calling from Epsom.
All right, Ambrose, go on.
Yeah, what worries me about security in the country is lack of intelligence gathering. City staff, what the market guys are doing. Today they were in school. The next day they will raid another school, you know. We are not proactive at all. Let me tell you what I experienced on Monday when I was in a public class. Somebody was telling me that in their school platform on Sunday night around 9:45, there was a message that come on their school platform saying that we will be hot this morning.
Wow.
Let you people be careful in your movement. He said, no, how can it be? The guy opened his phone and showed it to me. 9:45 a.m. I was surprised. So if there is a credit gap, why should see this kind of thing happen? You know? So I'm surprised. That is where we have our problem in this country. That's my thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, you know, Paul, I've said it on this platform before now that during the days of the military, it seems the intelligence apparatus for intelligence gathering was working better than what we have now. You understand? Because they have a way of always nipping even protest, strike actions, and all of that in the bud before it, or they tell Nigerians that this is going to happen, and that kind of, you know, stop those that are planning it from going ahead with their plans. But this time around, just imagine this caller now, somebody in a bus showing him what was sent on a school platform that Owerri will be hot this night, be careful where you go, at 9:45, and at midnight or thereafter, some minutes after midnight, the entire state was capital was on fire.
Yeah, but during the military, we're not as divided as we are today.
Yeah,
so even the person that is supposed to give you intelligence is not believing it. Yes, a victim of the whatever that is plaguing the nation. So you now find people choosing who they want to be loyal to, whether to be loyal to the country Nigeria or to be loyal to their cause. So it's a big problem we're dealing with.
It's really a big problem. And Okeredon Chuks says the governor was very lucky the guys didn't take him away. It is very clear there is no security in the state. Our airport is very open for them to pick anyone anytime they wish. You see, ideas are being thrown out every time.
Yeah, but it's also for security agents to think ahead. Exactly.
Well, another thing they should work on is the fact that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
How can you do what we do when everything that happened in Nigeria, especially in Emoghene, political? Huh? Look, we are not people. I'm telling you, there is one of the mountain. Everything for everything every day. In order to run to abroad. Those abroad that is going to was abroad give an exit. I never give my leaders of press abroad. We are waiting. That is why Nigeria ended. Just read at the end of Nigeria ended. So let's be gone. That is where we are. Thank you.
On the same day that the vice president came for on-the-spot assessment, the inspector general of police, now retired, came.
Then the minister of interior too, Rauf Aregbesola, was here as well.
A divisional police station was burnt.
It was a statement.
On the same day.
It was a statement.
We have to provide solutions still, so that it doesn't look as if we are losing faith.
No, we are not. But there are in a standard practice now is for the military, police, high command, the security to do a review of what happened. There are questions that should be answered. Some people should be queried. What they should be asking: why didn't these people get help? Police command. Why didn't we get backup? The police situation report says this operation lasted for 3 hours. 3 hours. We have the police command here. Okay, they were attacked. We have the DSS. We have the Navy at Abarud. We have police counter. They have the Mopo police on Onitsha Road. I mean, mobile police base on Onitsha Road. We have Air Force base. We have naval base. We have anti-terrorism squad in Olu Road. We have them in Nekede. We have OBs there. Within 3 hours, not one came.
And all these places you mentioned are barely 15, 20, 30 minutes drive.
By midnight, it's an open road.
Yeah. So
it's an open road.
with about 15, 20 minutes, they should be here.
Yeah.
And the army commander lives just back of that government house. Everybody knows that. Police commissioner, all these high-profile people live here. Didn't people call? Didn't they call out? Didn't they hear the gunshots? People didn't sleep. People were frantic. Some people went to hospital after that for their BP. So why didn't we get back? These are questions we need to ask. The governor also asked that, why didn't you resist? Why didn't you fight back? But as a governor, there are a lot of things he can't say. on the public. So let them ask. They need to give us their own report and tell Imo people, reassure us what happened.
And I'm from feelers that there was no casualty whatsoever.
Because we are scared. Ordinary people are scared. If this could happen to them, we are sitting duck.
Because as our guest said, was it on Monday, that's the most secure fortress.
That is it.
Or the second most secure fortress in the entire state. That axis of, and he mentioned all these things: the police CP, the army head, the governor, state police command. I mean,
we have it all in close proximity.
And from what we heard, they also gyrated.
They spent about 20 or 30 minutes. The videos are there.
You understand? I mean, it's a big shame.
After the thing, they spend time in that roundabout. Right. The videos are in circulation. So there must be something we've not known. There must be a missing link to all this, because there are questions we need to ask and we need to get answers. So you have to reassure people. The governor even said it. If we don't do this, the people won't feel safe. People need to feel secure again and trust the system. You are the enforcers of law. You have the mandate of people to protect the city. If there is something that is not being done for you to help your work, talk, shout. If you can't talk to the government, go and talk to a journalist.
Talk to press.
That this thing is happening. That's why we are not doing the work. This is why we are vulnerable. This is why we are not protected. This is why we are not motivated. Shout. Let's talk. We don't have to play politics with security.
The Landmark has sent another message. It says our leaders should hide their faces in shame because they have failed big time. The citizens are fed up of all this. Our leaders playing politics with our dear lives, but God will shame them all. We move.
All right, let's move. 30 seconds will bring you the news headlines, which means we have to anchor here on this week's edition of the People's Voice. Thank you very much, Steve Ozechi. Steve is the New Telegraph Southeast Bureau Chief, and we appreciate your time on the People's Voice.
My pleasure.
I am Paul the Magician.
And I'm Zandas Okeke Otiba.
Good morning.
Good morning.